Hi everyone, Yacca here. So we have a good old deck from way back in Stormwind, where we had the Quest Rogue, and Quest Rogue, amazingly enough, is doing quite well at the moment. There's only a few bad matchups which we'll talk about just before heading into the mulligan. But this one, if you wanna get into the scene again, if you like been on a short break or whatever, but you're starting to re-energize for the new expansion to come, and you have a bit of the old cards but not as many of the new, this could definitely be the deck for you, and for having a good ladder placement. It's really good towards a lot of the meta decks, towards Legend. At the very high levels of Legend, it's not that great, but if you want to climb, this could be the deck for you. Let's have a look at the mulligan and some of the matchups that this deck has. So let's talk about the matchups. But just before that, if you, like me, are completely psyched for the new expansion coming up, do remember to check back in a few weeks, where I'll be trying out new decks and what is popping into the meta, and we'll have a ton of fun. So be sure to check back, and if you want to be reminded, do follow the channel and hit the bell. For this one, on the matchups, it is so strong against a lot of the things that is prevalent at the moment. The decks that you are, the archetypes that you are struggling a little bit against, are like the Quest Hunter, and that's kind of a tough matchup for you. Also, the Fell Demon Hunter, but that has really fallen a lot from grace, and I don't really see that much in the meta anymore. But that's also quite a tough matchup. And Curse Warlock, which is also quite prevalent. But the rest, like Big Spell Mage or Murloc Shaman, you definitely have either a 50-50 chance on those, and you can rehearse those matchups, or you are favored. So against more or less everything else, like Druid, all this kind of stuff, you are actually in quite a good spot. So that's on the matchups in the meta at the moment. Some bad ones. Most decks usually have that. If they do not, they usually get nerfed. But against some of the really high hitters at the moment, you do have a quite good shot. And I'm having fun with the deck, definitely. The deck is more or less what you know. There's a few replacements in here, and I'll with some of the Sunken City cards, and I'll give you some suggestions of what you can revert back to or use instead if you do not really have that much from Sunken City. You're just coming back. Then I have some suggestions for replacements. But before we talk replacements, let's talk about the mulligan. Initially, of course, you keep the quest. That goes without saying. And then what you want to do is, when you want to get your early SI cards, like your SI7 Extortion, definitely SI7 Skulker, and also an Operative and a Smuggler. Those are the ones that you really would like to see in the starting hand. What I can see is, from the stats available, is that Ink Veil Ambusher, which is one of the new cards, are actually not having that much of a high win rate when you are not on the coin. When you're on the coin, this one increases quite substantially, and you can definitely think about keeping that, also because you can coin into some more stuff, or maybe into some of the cards that are a little bit more late game, more extortion or whatever. But the Ambusher is not all that great to keep in the starting hand if you're going first. Then you really want to look for the cards that progresses your quest and also gives you some good early tempo. This is kind of getting there on the early tempo, and it's not horrible, but just not when you're not on the coin. Against specific matchups, that's kind of the general strategy that you want to do as a quest rogue. So it's not really all that complex, but there is one specific thing that is worth keeping in mind. Against mages, you want to keep, even though it's the most expensive card in the deck, if you do see Shadowcrafter Scabs in the starting hand, you need to keep it, because right now the prevalent mage deck is Big Spell Mage, and when they end up dropping like 2 Death Wings on the board out of their Drakefire Amulet, you want to be able to answer that. And there's some few things in here, like the Assassin, which can do that. You can also generate some Fish Bang something. I can't remember the name of that gizmo. But that's kind of a random thing unless you get to that point where you have generated scabs out of the quest. So this one is definitely really good against... it's a good card, definitely. But in the mulligan, you only want to keep that against the mage. And there it's really good. So that's kind of the mulligan strategy, and a specific mulligan strategy against the mage. On replacements, and then we'll have a little bit of gameplay so you can see how I pilot the deck in the legend ranks. So what you have of new cards is Gone Fishing. That's kind of been replaced, and it's a very good card, so you have to, if you do have it, put it in, definitely keep it in there. But you can replace that with Blackwater Cutlass, which is also an older card and a common one. Your Ink Veil Ambushes, you can replace those with whatever other, you don't have to choose some specific 2-drops, but whatever you have that can be slotted in there. I don't have anything specific in mind because there's no SI cards that slots in perfectly in this. Could be there has been like a single preparation been run in the past and stuff like that, but maybe not something that I would suggest because there's not that many spells in here. Maybe you do have 2 Battlegrounds Battlemasters, one can be replaced for more consistency in that one, but top decking those in the late game when you might want to get something else, that's not great, but that's a possibility at least. On the last one that we have in here of the new cards, we have Krakatoa, and Krakatoa is really hard to replace because that's a high win rate card, one of the biggest ones. You don't want to keep it in the mulligan because it's not a high mulligan win rate card, but you definitely, when you do play it, when you do have it, you draw it over the course of the game, Krakatoa really edges you towards that win. But if you do not have it, or you want to use something else, then from the past expansions you can slot in Mr. Smite if you haven't dusted him yet. Because when you get to Shadowcrafter Scabs, a combo that you can do is still that you activate the hero power. Mr. Smite is now a 7, it goes to 5, so you can drop him and Edwin, maybe even buffing him a little bit. And then you can push a lot of damage that way. So that's kind of how it played in the past, and even though it's a little bit more expensive, you can still make it work, even though it's not all that amazing. And if you do, for instance, end up having like a Battlemaster on the board, getting Smite down in that way is also really good, but not something that you can consistently do together like you could in the past, like pushing 12 damage. That's not possible anymore due to the mana cost. But that's a possible replacement as a push towards the late game. Replace maybe Krakatoa with Mr. Smite, but that will make the deck a little bit worse, but it kind of fits that game plan of a late game pressure card. Actually, also, if you do end up going for that, then you could also get the Fillet Fighters that you see here. That is also from the new expansion, but since if you do end up like you need to have something from the new expansion, Ink Veil Ambushes are definitely a little bit better than the Fillet Fighters. Also because now you cannot, with this list, it's not playing with Mr. Smite in mind. Let's leave it at that. Let's have a look at the game, some gameplay that I have, and go try it out if you want to like rehearse a little bit before the new expansion. Quest Rogue is in a good spot. It's one of the few quest lines that did not get nerfed, and it is really easy to do still, and it is so much fun. Krakatoa is really good. Just wanna think that I wanna try and rush out stuff early on. Like a Skulker. That would be great. Two turns to draw it. It's not the best one. SI. I'm gonna leave it at that. There are things here which would be good for me to stab, like a tower. That one too, I guess. Right, let's wait with that one. I have ways of handling this. I don't need the extra 2 damage, just need to progress the quest. And then I go Informant into Informant and a 1-drop maybe. Presta is coming out soon. On 5 or 6. Maybe 4 even. Depends whether he's got the Innovate. Maybe I have enough tempo to outmatch. That's a good one at least.
So what's the rub?
We are going in. That's fine. So next turn I can SI Informant and Undercover Mole. Could also be Alignment and not Presta. If he's running that one, then it's probably Alignment. Alright. That means that for now, we'll just push a lot of stats. Oh, I could go for Undercover Mole. So either that or gone fishing.
All is unclear.
Undercover Mole.
What's the rub? Confidential.
Next turn. That's gonna be 3, 1 and a 2. 3 and a 3. Yeah. So there's a chance that I can just stagger up on the next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, just gonna leave 1. Nope, miscounted. Let's get the draw first. Guess this one then. Then we'll go for gun fishing. Depends on this one, I guess. Let's go fishing first. Sure, I can go for the fires to get a bit of card draw. Or Shadow Step, and I can do something with the assassin. Or this one actually. I think this one is better. And then we can consider to throw this one out. Or just get caps going. No, let's do this. That one. It's a bit annoying, but I can just remove it with the SI Assassin. Is it just lethal then? This one is a beast. 6, 10, 15. What's your life total? I can't see it. 15, 19. That's not enough. So this one. This one and this one. There we go. Let's see what we get here. Out of that one. Okay, fair enough. We're just gonna drop this. That's gonna be a bunch of damage that I'm not sure how he's gonna handle, even if he does get yeah, he can't play just yet. Onyxia, I was thinking about that one. Right now I don't see it. Sure, we'll take care of that one and then one more. But then I still got lethal. GG, my friend. See what we find against the mage.
Hope will be my guide. My knives are ready.
Definitely keeping scabs. That's amazing against mages. Kani could let me counter when with the draw. No, it's gonna be minions for the most part. I guess that's also fine. What are the 3 health ones? Do they have slither spears? Some of them have towers. I guess that's fine as well. It's not really progressing my own quest at the moment, but it does counter a lot of the stuff that he intends to do. No tower. I'll keep the tooth. This actually works now. We'll just do this. And then I actually need to coin Okani, most likely.
That's right.
I will do that. It's gonna be minion, because I don't want him to draw an armor up. And we're gonna leave that one there.
Predictable.
Alright. Would have hoped for something else, but we'll accept that's what it is. So I can get rid of all my spells that might actually be worth it, even though This one I would really like to have represent a little bit more damage, but I think we need to do it. There we go.
Not impressed. So be it.
I guess this one can go for, because I could get a dagger on the next turn.
No ways can save
That's the one I wanted to counter, and he did have it. Annoying, but fair enough. I could do this and then actually clears that. I think that's better than just dropping the informant. And I could even leave the gizmo if I don't need it right now and just dagger up. Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna do this. And dagger. Best one now would probably be the Skulker. That progresses the quest one more. Yeah. And now he can do the Barbaric Sorceress. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, he got it on the coin! Ah! Oh, that's so good. Okay. So this lets me clear that one. Could even go for this one. Let's do this first. I want to get rid of my spells. Krakatoa. Could also. That's for the next turn. And then we do this.
Target eliminated.
I do have scabs if you just develop something on the board. But this is nice. And that one. Great. And then we do these two 4 cost. We can go to a 5 cost. Yeah, it's definitely better to go up in mana cost instead of just getting another +1/+1. What are we on here? Like 4. Oh, this is great! Oh, now I could even like man, so many options. I guess I'll just save the extortion, right? I can just push in all of this. I don't want to leave that on 1.
All is unclear.
Let's see, because I could get a rush 5, or maybe something even better out of this one. Because now he's played 2, now I'm not afraid of anything there anymore.
Breakfast.
Alrighty. This one. And push a bit of damage. This is looking up, guys. This is nice. And I think I even have the opportunity to manage one amulet. One Drakefire amulet. With this one, and then sure.
You can't stop this snowstorm.
So just push that one back, right? Yeah. I don't mind him playing that one again. And if not, then not. And we get scabs.
I can't just sit here.
And we're gonna stealth him. There we go. that's kind of the lethal setup now. So he needs to freeze the entire board, which is immensely unlikely, but he does have the possibility for a rune. But that's really a Hail Mary. It could work. Okay. So that gets him dragons. Okay. Still. Oh no, that clears a lot. Four, 7. Could go for 2, 6, 7, 9. So that is a lethal opportunity. It's 1. Either way, I think this is a good idea, and I do have the option to go for a lethal push. We do not get it. Still, I think this is worth it. Still have the opportunity to take care of that one. Grapatoas, nice. The other ones don't do as much right now. And this one we do not play. Do I need to clear that? No, I guess not, right? I just want to make sure what he draws. Yeah, I can get the Pelican. So now there's 2 ignites in the deck, so that's likely to be drawn out of the tower. But how does that help him? Oh, that way. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's just lethal.